Hi! Welcome to part 1 of my review featuring Nightcrawlers, a splatterpunk role-playing game. In this role-playing game, you and your friends play as monsters, outcasts, trying to survive and perhaps even thrive in a setting full of danger and unusual adventures. This is a black hack-based role-playing game. For those of you unfamiliar with the black hack, it's one of the most streamlined versions of the D20 engine or system that you all know from Dungeons & Dragons perhaps, and it also contains a very strong old school flavor. Let's talk about the quality of the PDF. When you purchase Nightcrawlers, you obtain two files, a single page on-screen file and a 2-page on-screen file. So that's pretty handy, very convenient. You also have two character sheets, a normal character sheet and a fillable character sheet. The quality is really good. Everything is well organized, written and explained. The document is fully bookmarked and hyperlinked, so it's going to be very easy for you to move through the entire document. Everything is in black and white. The art style is great, it has this sort of comic book / scene feel to it. It expresses a sort of horror comedy style. The layout and graphic design is very neat, very clean, and the font is quite easy on the eyes. I also like the writing style. It has a sort of tongue-in-cheek presentation, and you feel as if a punk is reading this role-playing game to you. For example, it says things like, "This game isn't for children and contains bad words, not sorry." And it also says, disclaimer, Nightcrawlers is a game about counterculture, rebellion and marginalization. If you don't like this, fuck you and don't play this game. So it has that sort of punk attitude. So overall the quality is excellent. Now let's talk about the contents. So what is this? Nightcrawlers is a traditional role-playing game played with paper, pencils and dice, where the player characters are punk monsters. Nightcrawlers is based on the Black Hack by David Black, as I mentioned earlier, and is inspired by the 90s punk and metal music and horror role-playing games like Nightlife, Chill, Nightbane and World of Darkness. When it comes to the setting, the world, which is known as Flesh World, is fucked. It is inhabited by monsters. You play a crew of these monsters, also known as Kindred. Your society, the Underground, is a secret to most mortals. It's filled with centuries-long gang wars, blood binges, and tonight-only secret shows. You may be immortal, but you got a lot of enemies. The government, street gangs, rival factions, monster hunters, and things from other worlds. You're tossed smack into the middle of it, but you're not one to sit around on your ass. It's up to your crew to survive the night and make the world at least tolerable for Kindred and humans, and you'll spill a lot of blood and guts doing it. Tonight's the night, and nothing's ever gonna stop you. Nightcrawlers is best run with 4 to 7 players, with one of them acting as the city planner or CP. This is the game master. The CP controls the events within the city as well as any characters not controlled by the players. These are the non-player characters, of course. So you have information on dice notations and how this is an easy to play role-playing game, but it assumes you already know the basics of RPG games and adventure creation. This book contains a list of inspirational media, containing role-playing games such as Dark Streets and Darker Secrets or Nightlife. There are also movies like The Crow or Evil Dead, books and comics such as Call of Cthulhu and Hellboy, video games such as Brutal Legend and Dark Stalkers. There's also music such as Black Sabbath and Stone Temple Pilots. There's also television shows such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Tales from the Crypt. And yes, the list of movies also includes Nightbreed, which I thought about when I saw the cover of this game. Then we have information on character creation. When it comes to rolling stats, they represent your character's physical and mental capabilities. Stats are generated by rolling 3 6-sided dice to determine muscle, which is physical power, nerve, which is agility and swiftness, flesh, which has to do with health and toughness, brains, which is knowledge and judgment, guts, related to perception and cunning, and blood, which is about charm and influence. If you roll 15 or above, you must roll the next stat with a couple of 6-sided dice plus 2. Then you continue with 3 6-sided dice, or until another 15 or more is rolled. Once all stats are generated, a couple of them could be swapped if you wish. Then you choose a brood. There are 10 choices: created, demon, fairy, ghost, guilman, mortal, revenant, vampire, warlock, and werewolf. Your brood determines how much damage you inflict, your hit die, and your unique abilities and drawbacks. All broods, besides mortals, are immune to things such as mundane diseases and poisons. They don't physically age, you are effectively immortal. However, you can be killed, that is, you are immortal as long as someone doesn't rip off your head or something like that. Concerning your nature, a brood's nature determines what they need or don't need in order to survive. Make note of your brood's nature, either living or unliving. For example, living kindred are just that, alive and possessing biological functions. These are mortals, warlocks, fairies, werewolves. When it comes to unliving kindred, they are either undead or aren't burdened with biological processes. They do not need to eat, sleep, breathe, etc. These are ghosts, demons, revenants, or vampires. When it comes to your hit points, you roll your brood's hit die to determine your starting hit points. Characters can take this amount of damage before they are considered unconscious and dying. Next, you create your background. Each player should create a 1 to 3 word background, a brief glimpse into what they do in their day-to-day life and any skills associated with it. Whenever you roll a test that falls under your background, you can roll the test with advantage at the city planner's discretion. For example, a musician might gain advantage performing music live or writing songs, while a computer programmer might gain advantage on hacking a computer or interacting with other computer programmers. When it comes to contacts, at character creation, a player can create 2 level 1 contacts or 1 level 2 contact. After this initial point, all contacts must be gained through role-playing. A contact could be a sex worker, a gang leader, a detective, etc. And when it comes to the level of each contact, they represent degrees of familiarity and loyalty concerning a specific contact. Now, about goals. They are what motivate your character, what keeps them going when shit really hits the fan. Achieving these goals is also how your character progresses and grows in power. During character creation, create 3 goals for your character. 2 goals should be external, that is, they are performed or carried out for someone else, and 1 must be internal, something that your character wants. All goals need to be approved by the city planner and should include a reason why following the goal is so important to the character. Then you finalize fleshing out your character by determining some starting gear and resources. The money that you start with depends on your blood stat. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part I am going to talk about the different broods. As you have seen from what I have revealed, this is a game with a very strong theme and a very simple system. As I go deeper into the rules, you will be able to appreciate how the black hack engine that this role-playing game uses truly simplifies and speeds up the way that you play a D20 based RPG. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.